Hello and welcome to Motorcycles Off-Road, and man, it feels good to be making another video for this channel. You guys may or may not know, but I've been on my winter break from dual sport riding, but don't let that fool you, I've definitely been enjoying the weather. It's just in the winter sometimes I don't ride on two wheels, at least off-road, as much as I do during the spring, summer, and fall. And of course, at the end of the season, I did do a 450-mile moto camping trip, but man, I'm missing two wheels again. But in this video, I want to talk to you guys about an ECU for your Honda 300L. I want to cover a couple things: where I got mine and how I acquired it, how much it costs, how easy it is to install, is it trustworthy to get it the way I got mine, and overall, how I feel it changed the bike. So we got quite a few things we got to cover here, and I'm going to break them down one by one. So first, let's take a step back and talk about where and how I got my ECU. Well, I reached out to Maverick at 550 Performance and asked for a sample ECU with a tune to my bike, which is 81 octane, a DNA air intake filter, and a Yoshimura full exhaust system. Now keep in mind, I told him I would do a review of his product, and that's make a review, not leave a good review. This is key because if I didn't like the result of the tune or the ECU, then I can throw my stock ECU back in and make a video and give you guys an honest opinion of what I discovered. And well, I'm here to say it worked out amazingly. The installation is super easy, and the process I'll put at the end of the video. So if you do end up getting an ECU down the road and you want to see how simple it is, just save this video so you can reference it later. And by the way, anyone can do this installation. Anyone. It's super simple. And there was pretty much a clear noticeable difference instantly. The only side effect I noticed was I did get a service engine light at first, and somewhere around the 10 to 15 minute mark it disappeared. I don't know exactly when. I just happened to look down, it was gone, and it never came back again. Now keep in mind, this was months ago, and it's never come back since. But the biggest thing here is not that it made my bike better, is that this could be the best upgrade for anyone's bike, even if you're running stock. He has his prices at only $99 for a 250L, and I believe it was $124.99 for a 300L. And on top of that, he'll give you a partial refund for your old ECU. Now, a lot of people out there, they like to go with a fuel injection tuner, which is cool, but I personally think an ECU is better. You have more things at play with an ECU, and something as simply as advanced or retarding your timing will make a huge difference when it comes to performance of your bike. Not just how much fuel you do to match your intake and exhaust. Think of the ECU as the all-covering brain of your bike, and it controls everything. You also have to understand that stock bikes are detuned for noise and emissions, and also not tuned for the proper gas probably in your area. Not to say that gas is great everywhere, but here where I live in the United States, they have specific regulations. The gas has to be certain octane, and just simply running a high octane in your bike with the proper tune can make very good performance gains. And as I said, the process is even more inexpensive if you're willing to send out your ECU to get flashed, or if you send your old ECU as a core charge to get reimbursed some of the money that you spent on your new flashed ECU. Now for me, like I said, I wanted to keep the old one because I might change my tune down the road, I might run different exhaust, I might review certain products where having the stock ECU might be crucial for me, so it was advantageous to keep it. But for a lot of you guys, it may not be necessary, and that's where you can really get the price down. And I'm talking cheap, somewhere around $30 or $40, and you're set. And as I said, I wanted to talk about trustworthiness, and I keep saying he. So who is he? Is he qualified? Is he a scammer? Let's talk about it. I would never recommend something where any of my subscribers could get scammed or lose their money. Also, this wasn't paid. The only thing I got out of it was the ECU, and there was no stipulations to say anything. But if I found out reliably that Maverick at 550 Performance was scamming people, I would immediately take down this video, and I would write a warning video and post it up on my channel, because I'm not going to let my subscribers get scammed about something, definitely something I recommended. But that being said, trust me, this guy's a pretty trustworthy person, and I had a lot of conversations with him. In fact, I asked him to tell me about himself so you can put a face to the business, being as I really think this is a proprietary self-owned business. And here's what he wrote back. Feel free to pause the video if you feel like reading everything, which the TLDR is basically Maverick's a person. He spent his whole life working on engines, education for engines. The real big takeaway is here, he went to school and got his master's degree in internal combustion engines and control systems, has worked on this stuff for over 10 years, as well as, from speaking to him, he just seems like a fellow rider that has a passion for bikes and small engine mechanics, just like myself. Okay, so how do you order? Where do do you get this? Well, you just go to Facebook and you find 550 Performance. You message them, tell them exactly what you need, what your upgrades are, or what you plan to do as far as upgrades, the fuel you're going to run, and what exactly you're looking for. It's simple as that. I will say though, it is very hard to get parts, specifically computers, ECUs, at this point in time. So if you don't hurry, you might be put on a waiting list, or your option might be to send your actual ECU out and get it flashed and wait for it to come back. For me, that would be fine since I'm in the winter season, but for some of you guys, I can understand how you wouldn't want to do that. And the side benefit of actually getting an ECU and then sending yours back for the core charge is you're helping the next guy out get a new flashed ECU. Because when it comes to something like the Honda 300L, any of these ECUs are basically brand new. The bike hasn't even been in most people's hands for a year. I mean, I got mine in July. All right, let's talk about performance. Well, I'd have to say this is all anecdotal because I actually don't have a dyno near me. I haven't dynoed this bike. Well, what I can say is I noticed an immediate difference in throttle response and power. The bike feels night and day difference. And in fact, I'd have to say I got a huge jump when I put on my Yoshimura exhaust, and this just took it to the next level. Even my friends that rode this bike will tell you it's a completely different animal altogether.
It's smooth, it's quick, it's agile, and after you put the ECU in there, and I'm not a professional motocross rider or anything, but it was borderline scary.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, it was really quick and constant power all throughout the revs.
Yeah.
I could definitely appreciate that motorcycle.
Keep in mind the guy that was just speaking runs a DRZ 400 off-road version, which is much faster than the dual sport version. And if you want to see a video more of me riding around with the ECU exhaust and intake, be sure to check out this video here, which is probably 2 videos back, or 1 video and 1 short back. And it's me riding around through the woods showing what the bike can do. I was talking about the bike in the end, and I put a little music to overlay, which I don't always do. I know some people don't like it, but it was a fun video to make and I wanted to do it at least once. Alright, next let's talk about installation. And I want to show you guys how easy it is and where it's located. So it's located on the bike as if you were sitting on it, where your left knee would be next to a coolant tank. So what you simply got to do is you take off the 2 back screws for your seat, pop your seat out of place, take off a couple more plastic screws, pop them out of place, and then you'll see it right down in here next to this little coolant chamber. Now it sits in there with a little rubber boot. Anything computerized on your bike should probably be suspended by something rubber. It should never be set up in such a way that's going to feel a lot of vibration. That's also true with fuel controllers, anything like that. And I'll show you here where it's tucked in the back, and you just simply pull it out of that little rubber boot, disconnect the connection on the top. It's like a big many pin connector, and then you snap the new one on. Now I also taped mine together for good measure because I didn't want any water or anything else getting in there. Feel free to do that as well. You push it back into its little boot and then reassemble, and that's all there is to it. Your bike is ready to go. So super simple, easy to do, guys. Great upgrade, super cheap. I recommend it to everyone. Think you guys should hit up Maverick from 550 Performance. You should tell them exactly what you want, and it's so inexpensive that even down the road, if you do another upgrade, you could get a new flash, do another ECU. I just think it's a win-win for everyone. And if you do go to him, be sure to tell him that I sent you. And once again, he took a risk with me and sent me the ECU completely free, and I could have left a good review, a bad review, anything. But as the riding season's about to start back up, I wanted to make this video so that I could spread the word to you guys and also repay the favor since he sent it out to me. So Maverick, if you're listening, thank you. And everyone else who watches this channel, thank you. I can't believe it. We're about at 6,000 subscribers, and I haven't even had this channel a year. Oh, one more thing. I got a big surprise coming up. I hope it comes sooner than later, but I got a big surprise that I think everyone that watches this channel for the content that I put up, they're going to be excited about it. That's coming soon. So anyway, guys, thanks for everything. My name is Andrew, and this is Motorcycles Off-Road. Thanks, guys.